Hello, I am live. I'm trying to set my camera. I don't know if you can see me, if you can hear me. Hello, I don't know if there is somebody who is online. If you happen to come online, just say hello and let us know where you are uh, tuning on from. Okay, today I want to talk about aligning yourself with your purpose. And when you align yourself with your purpose, you align yourself with abundance. If you have been living in misalignment with your purpose, you can find yourself also going through financial struggles. So misalignment with purpose also leads to financial misalignment because your purpose is connected to also your financial abundance. So I don't know if there is somebody who is coming online. Let me just wait for a minute or so. Let me wait for a minute or so. Let me wait for a minute or so and see if there is somebody who is coming online, and if, yeah, hello. So I'll just continue. Financial abundance and purpose. It is now 4 years since I started my YouTube channel, and I started the YouTube channel immediately after my awakening. I was going through an awakening in my life, and when I was going through that, that is when I had this desire to start a YouTube channel. And when I started the channel, I really did not know what I wanted to talk about, but because I have always been interested in authenticity, so I decided that I will start there. And if you check the first video I did, it was about myself, my face, because I have like a misaligned jaw and I was born like that. And it is during that time when I was going through my awakening that I realized that my jaw was misaligned. So that was the first video because I felt that it was just showing me that I'm also starting to see myself physically and inward. And so I did not know how the channel will go about, but anyway, I started just talking about my journey and the things that I was discovering as I was going through the journey. And one of them, hello to those who are joining in, welcome. I'll just continue. Yeah, you can say hello and where you are coming from, where you're joining from. Anyway, let me just continue. So that was a way that I started to see myself. I started to see myself physically. So it was a form of authenticity, and it went on. No, I started to realize that there are inner parts of me that I did not know. And so that is how my spiritual journey continued. So what now I have discovered, I have always heard that financial struggles, they are also always associated with like your purpose, but that did not really hit me how that is connected until I started like experiencing it. Because if you are going through a spiritual awakening, you go through a lot of things that you come later like to understand in a deeper way. And I started now to experience like financial struggles that I did not have before, and I could not understand it, but it was like a way that God was trying to teach me lessons or trying to teach me things, spiritual truths. Me as a woman especially, number one, what I really learned and what I have learned from this awakening, it is the beliefs that I have been carrying, and I know many women, they have carried those beliefs. And one of the beliefs that I was carrying, me as a woman, although I am like a hardworking woman, I have always been a hardworking woman, working for myself, but I was like not financially responsible, you know, from within. I felt like men are the ones who are financially responsible and not the women. That was the kind of mindset I was coming from, because I come from a background where they are very strong men who are very financially providing. So I came from that background where my father was a strong financial provider, and also my brothers, you know, the men around me were very, very strong financial providers. So it is from that background, do you see, it is a good background, but it also, I also picked some financial limiting belief from that background, because how I picked that limiting beliefs about money, it is that women are provided for. You see, women are provided for. And also those beliefs, they are very common to people who are like religious or who are like church people or some cultures, that we instill that a woman is to be provided for, which is not bad, which is not bad. I'm not saying it is bad, but when you start to come to your authentic power, to you living authentically as a woman, it will take you to release such beliefs, because those are things that God have slowly revealed to me, that when you as a woman, when you don't understand that you have a financial power, it is like you are giving your financial power away, or your power away, or your authentic power away. And a woman who has a belief that she herself is not financially powerful, or is not financially responsible, or is not financially able, she will never come to her true authentic power. She will not come to her true financial abundance. And that was me. So God had to help me to release such belief, and now to start coming from a place, how can I myself as a woman be a creator of my own abundance? Because I was seeing that me as a woman, I was depending, although I was working, but it is, my mindset was not like built on of that me as a woman, I am the one who should invest. I thought that was the responsibility of men. I did not know that I can build my wealth. I thought that was the responsibility of men. I did not know that I could have an inheritance for my children or my child. I thought that was a responsibility of the men. It is not that you become feminist when you are delivered from such belief system, but it is like you start living in your authentic power. When you start coming out of those beliefs, you will start living in your authentic power. You cannot, you as a woman, live in your authentic power and your financial power and the fullness of your financial abundance if you don't know and if you don't believe that you are worthy of you as a woman of having financial abundance, if you are still dependent. You have to start seeing yourself, in other words, unequal financially, you know what I mean? So that you don't give your power away. And now when I start confronting those belief systems, what started happening is that because now I started asking, how can I create? How can I, me, myself, how can I create? Because I realized that I am a creator. So how can I create wealth? And that is now when God started revealing to me, or the Holy Spirit started revealing to me. It is when I come to my purpose, when I start living in my purpose, when I start aligning myself with my divine purpose. It is my purpose, or it is my gifts that will bring me, before kings. It is my gifts that will bring me far in life. It is my gifts, it is my calling, it is my purpose that will make a way for me, even spiritual, even financially. So it is you, it is when you start, because people ask, how can I build wealth? How can I create? How can I create? You create by coming into your purpose. It is that purpose, which is your gifts, which is your skills, which is your set of gifts, which is your whole energy. It is that brings you before kings. It is your gifts that make room for you. So your financial abundance is really in your, quote, gifts. It is in your purpose. So if you find that you are still struggling financially, it is because you have not come into your purpose, the fullness of your purpose, or you are not understanding that even your purpose, even as you have your purpose, that your purpose or your service can be exchanged, like for financial energy, or for money, which money is also an energy, because money is an energy. It is because you are not understanding that your gift or your service, it can be exchanged for like finances, or for financial energy, or for money, energetic money. When you start to understand those spiritual things, you will know that it is you who carry your riches. Sorry. It is you who is carrying your riches. It is not coming from outside. Your true wealth is not coming from outside. You'll start understanding that you are one. You'll start understanding that you are what you have been praying for. You are. It is closer than you think. What you have been looking for. It is closer than you think. So creating your financial abundance, it is in your purpose. It is in you coming to the fullness of your purpose. And it is in you understanding how to exchange that for the energy of money. Sorry. Your true riches, let me get some water. I don't know if I have some. Sorry. Your true riches is in your gifts. sorry. I think, let me get some water. I'm coming back. Sorry. Yeah, so your true riches is in your gifts. Your true riches, you carry your riches. You carry your money. You are born with your financial abundance. You are taken care of. You are not meant to go like looking from outside. You are meant to remove what you have, from inside. That is how God have created you. So when you start to align yourself, you as a woman, to know your power, to come out of financial codependency, and you start to understand that you yourself, you alone, you are worthy. You are worthy of your financial abundance, of your own financial abundance. That is when you tap to your true riches. So if you are struggling financially, it could be what I have said, number one, because you are not coming to the truest of your purpose, you are not aligned with your calling, with your purpose. Or number two, even if you have your calling and you know it, you are not able to exchange what you have for money. You know what I mean? You are not able to do that. And mostly that it is because of many beliefs you carry, many limiting beliefs that you carry, many wounds, and unworthiness being the major one. Because for me it is when I started like to work on me being worthy, my worthiness, me being worthy of riches. It is now when I can like more talk of my it is now when I can do what I feel I was called to do. It is now when I can help the people like the way I feel that I was called to help. I keep realigning myself, aligning myself. Divine alignment, it is not like, it is a process. It is something you do for a lifetime. You continue to align yourself. You continue to align yourself over and over and over again. Because God is here. God is not yesterday. So it is in this moment, whether you were divinely aligned yesterday, in this moment, God is in the present moment. God is in the present moment. So you keep realigning yourself again and again, aligning yourself again and again with God. So the more I keep aligning myself, understanding myself more and more. And since I started this journey, it is 4 years, 5 years now, since I started this journey. And when I started, I did not know where it was heading. I did not know where it was heading. Sometimes I could believe I have done the work. I have now overcome something, but then after some time, I realized, oh, even I was not, even I had just scratched the surface, you know what I mean? Yeah, so now what I have understood about this journey, you will keep to know layers of yourself. So today probably you feel like you know your purpose, but your purpose could like evolve, it could evolve. But the most important thing, it is you, when you start to come to your purpose, you know that that purpose, it is where your financial abundance will be. And you start understanding. For me, I have come to, I had a depth of understanding, because before I used to think that I work for money, I go out, I work for money, which is okay. But then I started asking myself, how many hours do I need to work? Like to get, to have enough money, even to have an overflow, How many years and how many hours do I have to work? Do I have to work day and night? Then it came to my mind. It's like God reminded me. It is all about creation. I have to create my own wealth. Like I am the creator. No, that is when I understood what it means to be a creator. You create your wealth from what you have inside of you. You create wealth. And now that is what God wants us, like everyone, to do. Not to depend from outside, but to depend from within. Because when you are depending from outside, that is very temporary. That is like you have to work with time. But when you start creating from inside, when you start creating from inside, that is limitless. And when you are creating from inside, it is you, it is yours. Nobody can take it away from you. So coming to your purpose will really align you to your true abundance, to financial abundance. Are you getting me? Are you getting me? Yeah, you can say hello. Antonio, Isaiah, Isabella, hello. Yeah, I also say hello. So if you are struggling financially, start checking on your purpose. Start desiring to come to your purpose. Start desiring coming to your authentic purpose, your authentic self. That is what is attached to your financial abundance. And if in any case you feel misaligned, or if you have areas in your life that you feel misaligned, I am a divine alignment coach. Even I don't know if it is coach. I think the coach is the best word I can use. But if you feel that you are misaligned in one way or another in your life, these are spiritual things. That is what I do. I do alignment. I help you to come to your alignment, to come to your authentic self, to come to joy, to come to peace, to know your purpose, to know your calling. Because if you don't know that, you can live your life round and round like a waste, you know. Because we are all given life. Why do you want to waste it when you are not aligned, when you are living as somebody else, when you are living in confusion? Yeah. But the moment you start to know your authentic self, the moment you start to understand who you are created to be, how you are created to be, how you are created for your light to shine, how your light should be shining, you know. We have different ways that our light will shine. The more and more like you start to understand your authentic self, your true self, the more and more you start to feel happy, to experience true happiness, true joy, fulfillment in life. I was misaligned for many years. I was truly misaligned. And the way you could know that you are misaligned, you find yourself going in the wrong relationship. You find yourself, like I'm saying, with financial situations, even health problems. It is because you are misaligned, and your body will know that. And you will find you don't have joy, you don't have peace, you have confusion in your life, you know. You have struggles because you are worthy of an easy life. Life was not created for you to be hard. If it is hard year after year, you know, the more the years are going, the more hard it is. It is because you are misaligned. Because life is short. Even if you are living like 100 years, it is not so many years. It was never to be lived somebody when you are suffering, when you are having hardships. It only happens when you are misaligned, when you don't know your calling, when you don't know your purpose. Then you live a misaligned life. And it is not beautiful. But when you start coming to divine alignment, you will start living in your authentic self. You will start living the life that God have called you to live. Are you getting me? When you are living in divine alignment, you are going to experience joy. You are going to experience peace. You are going to experience fulfillment in life when you live in divine alignment. When I say divine alignment, I mean when you live in the way that God created you to live, like aligned to the will of God, to the purpose of God. Because when you are created, there is a certain way that God wanted you to live, like to exist, your true self, you know. There is a certain way that God wanted you to exist. But because of limiting beliefs, because of the way that you have been trained, you are training, or what you have picked up as a kid, which will show up in form of beliefs, and many of them are limiting. You will find that you are blocked, like your spirit. You are blocked. You cannot flow, like you cannot flow the divine. How will I say it the way I feel it? The limiting beliefs, how you have been raised, what you have picked, that will block you so that you will not really show up in life the way that God created you for you to show up. Let me use an example. If you are created like to be a mango, let's say that's a fruit, mango. And because of limiting beliefs, because of things you have picked up in life, you will not be, the energy of God, the true energy, your true soul energy will not be able to pass through you. It will be blocked, and instead of showing up in life as a mango, you will show up as something else. So you will not live in life in your true authentic self. And that is not the way that God wants us to live. God wants us to live in our truest, authentic versions. And in those versions, you are free. You are powerful. You are bold. You are courageous. You are happy. You are fulfilled. You are financially abundant. Those kind of feelings, you will experience them when you are in your true divine self. If you are misaligned in one way or another, you will be blocked, spiritually, and you will not be able to experience the joy, the fullness of joy, the fullness of peace, fulfillment. So you will find that you are confused. You don't know what to do. You are always having questions in life. You are having financial blocks, financial struggles. You cannot hear God. You cannot understand God, who is really talking in your inside, intuition. And all that is happening. Why is it happening? It is happening because you are misaligned. When you are misaligned, you are a child of God. You can hear God, your Father. You can hear. Your desires are aligned to God because you and God are one when you are aligned. So your desires, even you don't have to pray even about your desires, because The desires that you have, it is God who is putting them. It is God who is putting those desires because you are one, you are aligned. When you are aligned with God, there is no separation. That is what we call unity conscious. You are one. You are really one with God. So you can hear the voice of God. You can know the voice of God. You can understand the voice of God. Yesterday, for example, let me give a short, like something that happened. I went like shopping in the supermarket, and when I was going, I met like a lady. She was also going. She had these two little children with her. You know, they were playful. I just smiled. Then I went. Then I don't know, they used the other path. So when I went to the supermarket, I found them there. Okay, then I did not say anything. I just smiled. When I finished, they have already, like when I finished my shopping, they were already done. So they were outside, they were just walking. And I walked past them and I greeted them. I greeted the woman. And when I greeted the woman, so I asked her, how old are your children? She told me, and then I left. You know, I was shopping for another woman. You know, I was not shopping for myself. I was shopping for an older lady who I usually help. So I do not live in that area. But when I went to the woman's house, now I came to the woman's house, and when I went to the woman's house, I was feeling like connected to the lady who I saw with the children, you know. Then something told me, this woman, she is living in the house that you used to live. Can you imagine such a thing? Like I had that thing in my, she's living, and I was sure she lives there. I am connected to this woman, but how? And then I could feel that she lives in my apartment, which I used to live a few years ago. I was like, that's weird. But I still went away, you know. Then I went back. Then I was, no, let me not go back. Then I went out, you know. I went and I called the woman. I asked her, by the way, where do you live? And the woman told me, I live on the other side. I was like, which other side? Then she said the street. Then I said, which house number? Then she said the house number. I was like, what? Then I told her I used to live in that house. She told me that. And she was like, what? Like, how come I am asking her that? How on earth would I ask her? I don't know who lives there. Like, I moved out of that place a long time ago. And during that moment, I really felt like divine aligned, you know. It is like a sign. I felt so divinely aligned at that moment. That is such things that I am talking about. When you start to come to divine alignment, even small things, God will show you some small signs that you are aligned. Everything is on time. Everything is on time. You could hear, even you could go somewhere and you meet exactly the person that you have wished to meet or you wanted to meet, you know, like, or even a coincidence, maybe that a person, maybe you meet them and that person, like, it is like they have something that you have been looking for, maybe a job, you know. That is like the signs that God will start to show you when you are divinely aligned. So I can tell you that moment yesterday, I felt so divinely aligned. So what I am saying, and what for me now as a divine alignment coach, what I have experienced, what I have come to understand. Living a life when you are not on the same page with God. It is not about religion. Like when you are not aligned with the true version of you, with your truest version, you can really struggle because it is like you are, you know, fighting. Alignment. When I talk alignment, I am talking about you aligning with your truest version, your most truest version that you can be able to access in this lifetime. That is the version of you that has freedom. That is the version of you that has peace. That is the version of you that has prosperity. That is the version of you that has the relationship that you dream of. Are you getting me? The version of you that is divinely aligned. That is the version of you has your dream job, your dream relationship, your dream everything, your dream life. When you are aligned with that authentic version of you, that is the version of you that has everything that you desire, that you have been looking for. It is in that version that you will experience your truest joy, your truest peace. It is that version that you are meant to live from. Your authentic version. That is the version that God, when God created you, He did not create you to live like in a fake version. He created you to live in your truest version, in your most authentic version. It is only that this life of this planet, it misaligns many of us. This life, it misaligns many of us, this life. But the way we were created to live in our authentic version, in our highest version. That is the way that we were created to be or to live. But because of how this life is, or because of the density of this planet, we have found ourselves misaligned. And now the journey that we have, it is to come back to our truest version. That is what I say is the higher version. Now the journey that we have in this life, it is to come back to our truest version. That is the journey that we have in this life. Are you getting me? Are you getting me? So the journey that we have in this life, our own journey, it is to come back to our highest version, to our truest version. It is us learning how to remove whatever is hindering us, whatever is stopping us from coming to our truest higher version. Our journey is to remove everything or whatever we can that is hindering us from coming to our truest version. Are you getting me? Are you getting me? When I am talking about financial abundance, I don't know what beliefs have stopped you or have stood on your way so that you are not experiencing your abundance. Because when you are in your truest version, your higher version, when you are living from that version that is aligned divinely, you are in abundance. You are in financial abundance. You are prospering. The work of your hands is blessed. You are succeeding. You feel divinely led. You feel that your steps are ordered. You have inspiration. You know your purpose. So the journey, it is you learning to remove all the limiting beliefs or all the stumbling blocks or whatever is standing between you and your authentic version. It is you learning to remove whatever is hindering you to coming to your highest version. Now that is your work. That is your work. And it is up to you now to manifest your higher version, to manifest your authentic version. That is you. That is now your work. Your work is for you now manifesting your authentic version, your truest version. Because when you were created, you were created to live in your highest version. And I have said that version is courageous. That version is bold. That version is powerful, not helpless. That version is empowered. That version, it is limitless. That version is financially abundant. That version is fearless. That version is living in truth. That version is living in their fullest purpose, is expressing themselves in their fullest light. That is the version I'm talking about. And that is the version that God is calling you to live from. So, let me end by saying, how do you start to come into your truest version? How do you start to come to your truest version? The way you start to come to your truest version, number one, it is you as a child of God, it is you now starting to pray. First of all, to pray, when I say to pray, you have to pray strategically, asking God to guide you, to help you, to come to your authentic version. You have to put that request there for the universe, for God to know. You know, it is like your intention. Just start to pray that God will guide you to come to your truest version. And then when you pray, God will always answer you. So now it is you now knowing how God is answering you. And if you are not understanding how God is answering you, still pray to God to help you understand Him. Start prayer Continue to pray to God to help you like to understand him, and he will. What will come next from there, in one way or another, you will have to release things that are like covering your authenticity. Mostly, I have realized it is these limiting beliefs. You'll have to work on that. You'll have to work on your commons. You'll have to work on all that. And when you start to work on your limiting belief, your commons, it is like you'll be removing layers and layers that have been covering you, and you'll be coming more and more into authenticity. And to me, I thought it was like somewhere you arrive, but I have realized it is always a journey. It is like the journey of this life. It is like that is our job. When as much as you are alive, you will be working on something about you. So you understand it is a journey. Because when I started this journey, when I started like this spiritual journey, I say like 5 years ago, I thought that it is something that could end, and I thought it is, like the way you go to school, and now you go to school, you have gone from level 1 to level 5, or from grade 1 to grade 5, and then you have to go to up to grade, I don't know, maybe 8, to have your primary school. That is what I thought, and then you have like you have like finished, you know. So I thought like so I thought like at some point, like you have to be perfect and to finish, like that now you are done, now you are perfect, or now you have learned whatever you are supposed to learn, and it is over. But now that I am 5 years in, I understand that this is a journey of life, and the only like maybe wish I have, or it is that I could have from the start, I could have taken, if I knew, I could have taken this as a journey, not like an arrival, like I have to arrive somewhere. And yeah, that is the way I could have taken it. So if you are thinking that you will arrive, I don't know. I don't think you'll ever arrive. The journey will continue the whole of your life. The journey will continue. So you'll continue to learn lessons, repeat lessons. It is okay, but you'll see them in different perspective. You'll see them in different perspective. Yeah, so when I started, I thought like I will arrive, but I see that I will never arrive. So I will continue in the journey, and all of us, that I think that is the way it is. We just learn lessons. We learn lessons, then we learn on different dimensions, or on different angles of the same lesson, which is okay. We just get deeper and deeper, That is the way I have realized. We go deeper and deeper into spirituality. It is like the depth increases, but it is almost the same thing that you are learning. So authenticity, you will have to overcome. You will have to work on those limiting beliefs, anything that have been limiting you, or any limiting beliefs and limiting thoughts that you have been experiencing. You will have to work on them. You'll have to work on them. Yeah, because coming to your highest version, it is you who know who intentionally you intentionally decide that you want to manifest your higher version or your highest version or your aligned version. You intentionally, you put that intention there, that I want to manifest my highest version. I want to manifest my authentic version. You put that intention there, and when you put it there in the universe to God, now you start God will start to lead you. God will start to lead you. You will come across a teacher. You will come across something. You will just know the way forward from there. You just open up yourself. You just open up yourself. But I have said, if you don't live from an authentic version, the authentic version, it is the version that carries freedom, you know, joy, peace, fulfillment. It has like your financial abundance. So if you are misaligned, if you are feeling misaligned, could it be that you have not yet come into your purpose? If you are feeling misaligned financially, start checking, how are you showing up in your calling? Do you even know your calling? Do you even know your purpose? And as women, hello, as women, I want to encourage us like to embrace our financial power. Embrace our financial power. You were not meant like to rely on people, to be codependent on people just because you are a woman. I came from that mindset. I have explained it. But you are meant to live from your financial abundant state. Okay, so it is almost an hour. I am really happy to do these lives. Yeah, last time, yeah, I am really happy to do these lives. So if you want me to talk on a certain topic, just let me know. Yeah, and I will talk on that. Otherwise, be blessed and see you in the next lives or in the next videos. Yeah, bye.